Hi Aquarius, thanks for joining me for your November 2017 Astro Tarot forecast. I'm shuffling the Ludi Lescaut Tarot deck from New Orleans. And I wanted to tell you I'm having a spooky special from now until November 4th. If you purchase a 1-hour reading with me, a 60-minute Astro Tarot reading, I will give you 10 free minutes, which is a $40 value, that you can either attach to the end of your session, or you can use it for the remaining year for a 10-minute free reading at any time through 2017. So I'm excited about it. I've never done a special before, but I like the alliteration, spooky special. I'm going with it, and I feel like giving something back to people who book with me. So I appreciate your support. Let's get to the forecast. On the 4th, we have our full moon, 4th of November, 11 degrees of Taurus. And there is closure in a home environment sector for Aquarius. Aquarius is finding closure in the deepest sector of the chart, the 4th house of where you come from, the home and the location you were born and raised in. And the maternal energy, the 4th house is the mother. And some Aquarians are seeing their moms go away and wishing that maybe they were traveling with you instead of not. But I feel like if mothers are staying in your homes, this is when they return back to where they live. And there's some closure here. For some of you who have had bad blood with family and the mother figure, this could see a release of any negativity that you're harboring. Now, I know not everyone has great relationships, so that's why I'm saying that. I feel like there is a much needed closure in this area, and some of you are putting an end to the place you're living in. You're actually moving, or you're closing the door literally on a property, and maybe you've been there quite a while. So it depends. It affects Aquarians differently, but there's closure nonetheless on every full moon. So on the 5th, Mercury enters Sagittarius, and Saturn has been stationed there for 3 years. He's preparing to leave in December on the 21st. So the lesson and the restructuring of your 11th house of goals, friendships, who you are aligning with in this life path is where your attention is. Mercury is the analysis of the area he's sitting in, and he's the details and information coming to you in your friendships, in your goals that you want to obtain. And conjunct Saturn, he really wants the right fit for you. He wants the right friendships. Over the last 3 years, Aquarius has been realigning the people in their lives. Some people didn't make the cut, and it's important to discern who stays and who goes. And Mercury, before his retrograde on December 3rd, is helping you with the analysis in this area, and also checking off those goals, because Mercury here in the 11th, where Saturn has been fully tweaking how you handle your chore list, and not just daily chores or anything, your long-range goals, the LRP, the long-range plan. Mercury's here to help quickly assist in accomplishment. Saturn has been deeply rooting accomplishment here. This also governs, the 11th house is the internet. So for internet-based businesses, you've had Saturn here honing in on this area. Mercury comes in every year, but this time I feel like since Saturn's getting ready to leave, it's almost like Mercury's handling the quick minutia, the fine details, the thin, over-the-top surface details of all of this before a full, complete exit of this sector next month with Saturn. Mercury will retrograde here. We'll get to that in a little bit. On the 7th, Venus enters Scorpio, where she'll eventually be conjunct Jupiter in the 10th house of career. I see promotion for Aquarius, and your career sector is largely impacted. It started last month on the 22nd or so, but it's the theme of the year because it's where Jupiter is sitting. And wherever Jupiter is sitting in the sector of the sky, that's where your expansion is. It is the 10th house of career and status and your highest truth. The purpose of your life is the 10th house and how you are seen in the limelight. So I'd like to see if I get the star in the tarot, which could happen, but not always. I like to kind of predict a little bit to see if it comes out because I get excited. I don't look at the cards. I want to be a part of it like you are because it's fun for me. But Jupiter here in the 10th house, we'll see a leveling up for Aquarius. So if you're great at what you do, then here's expansion because Venus is money just as much as love. And when she's in the 10th, people are attracted to you in career. That could be literal, attraction in career, but I feel like it's all eyes are on you because you do the job, excellently. You excel at what you do. On the 11th, circle this date, 11/11, Saturn will be at an exact trine at 25 degrees to Uranus in Aries. So the fire trine exists between this 11th house of goals. Oh yeah, 11/11 and the 11th house. Ooh, angel numbers. I see 11/11 all the time. But adding 11/11/11, that's interesting. In the 11th house, up to trining the 3rd house, sorry. So this energy, this harmonious flow between Saturn and Uranus is sudden communication can help you reach your goals, is how that can be interpreted. Definitely sudden communication on the 11th. You're going to hear from someone you haven't in a while, or you'll hear some news that you've been, that you'll be surprised to hear because Uranus is surprise and shock and sudden revelation. Trining the goal sector. So this helps you and it impacts your goals in a way where they can be handled effortlessly. Perhaps you hear from an old friend, 11th house, an old friend you haven't heard from in quite a while, maybe even at least 3 years, because I'm thinking that this is connected to when Saturn entered Sagittarius for you. On the 18th, we have our new moon at 26 degrees of Scorpio, all things career related. The new moon in the 10th, for those Aquarians who are unhappy in your positions, this is the moon where you want to set your intentions, clear your energy, center yourself, cut your circles, light your candles, whatever is going on. This is the magic moment. The new moon on the 18th in the career will set you up into the limelight. If you focus your intention and your energy here, your vision in where you see yourself, make a vision board on that day, whatever you're into. This has a strength to manifest if supported in the 10th house. The sun on the 21st enters Sagittarius. So he's right there with Mercury and Saturn. This is where you are strongly focused, the internet, connectedness, clubs and groups and organizations, bands, who you are surrounding yourself with to complete your goals in the 11th house. Very strong energy with the sun joining the party. And then Mercury retrogrades. I wanted to mention this. Oh no, I'm sorry, I skipped an aspect. Your financial planet is Neptune. And Neptune is going to make Neptune's receiving beautiful aspects from Jupiter. And particularly on the 29th and the 30th, you could see a payout and a little bit of a financial clarity is happening here because on the 22nd, Neptune goes direct. So the rose-colored glasses come off and you're able to see your resources clearly, and maybe you're impressed. Maybe you're more than impressed because this is a beautiful energy of receiving. And I think that Aquarius reaches a payday or sees the money in a way where you have a little more than you anticipated, which is always a good thing. Now on the 3rd of December, I wanted to mention our Mercury retrograde occurring at 29 degrees of Sagittarius, going back to 13 degrees of Sag in the 11th house again. So once you get everything assembled in the 11th house, that's where your review is, to tweak it, to make sure it's okay, moving forward. And if you're used to accomplishing the 11th house of goals very quickly, you might see in that time period between the 3rd of December through the 22nd that the goals aren't being checked off as quickly or effortlessly. It might be a slower accomplishment, but that's okay. You're meant to actually go over the previous goals and realign those. Revise, review, and rewrite, make sure all of that is aligned, and then move forward accordingly into the new vibes, into January already. But I know I'm a little bit ahead of myself. I just wanted to mention where your retrograde would be, and I'll pull the cards now. And if you'd like to book with me, I'm at audreyalison.com. I read all through the week. And don't forget about my spooky special that I'm having. If you purchase an Astro Tarot reading in the month of October through the 4th of November, the full moon, you'll receive 10 free minutes with me to apply at the end of the reading, or to just use in any session you'd like for the remainder of 2017, a free 10-minute session. Okay, so first card, the Fool. Now this is a card of Uranus. It's the first card in the Tarot, the major arcana, taking a risk, sudden chances, a breakthrough, a new direction, or starting something over, starting from scratch, but not from ground, zero. This is like taking everything you've learned with Saturn and Uranus, because they're both making changes soon, and we're having a lot of planetary shifts coming up. And taking everything you've learned and applying it to a fresh start isn't starting at the bottom. It's still an elevation, but just like every totem, I'm getting an image of a totem pole. That's probably my grandmother giving me these Native American images. Every totem is a level up, and everyone has a bottom. So that's what I'm getting for the Fool. You're starting over, but at a next level. Next card. Ooh, the Queen of Swords. That's Aquarian right there. She's sitting on her throne. Her hands are open like, what? What's up? She's like, what do you have to offer me? And there's leaves, there's fall leaves on the ground. This is here to represent the Aquarius. There's also an energy of taking a direct approach in communication prior to the retrograde. Get everything said that you need to say before the planet of communication goes reverse and you can get tongue-tied. Next card. Wow, I've done 4 readings so far, and this has come out in every reading. And everybody's probably going to be like, what the hell? But it's the Devil, and it is about Saturn, because Saturn's getting ready to leave. And it is in this house of 11th, of the goals. And what is keeping you restricted from achieving every goal, Aquarius? Saturn is the planet of restriction, and it identifies with the Devil card, Capricorn in the Tarot, because Saturn is Capricorn's ruling planet. And the word Satan is actually derivative of the word Saturn. So it's what is limiting you and what is keeping you enslaved. And some of you aren't happy in your daily positions and you're considering leaving. Some of you. Please watch your ascendant and rising sign or moon sign for a full scope too. Let me pull 2 more cards you have. High Priestess. That's me. The High Priestess is the intuitive knowledge that everything will be all right and that you are in the right place. There are no mistakes. There are no coincidences, and you have an intuitive awareness. When Neptune goes direct, there is financial clarity, and you will receive it. You will feel the knowledge in the area of your finances. And, I don't like this, 4 of Cups. There is some emotional sadness to this card, though it's beautiful. And you don't want to look down with regret. You don't want to have regret or remorse. Some of you are visiting relatives who have passed over the holiday. I'm getting a visit to their memorials and paying homage to people who have passed is coming up, and not to cry for them, but to cry for the people who remain is the message. Because the people who are gone, they're not even about this plane. They're like, thank God I'm in this amazing experience. So looking at all this combined, starting with the Fool, you have 3 major arcana: the Fool, Devil, and High Priestess. Devil is here because Saturn is here. Saturn, just before he leaves, it's going to get real gritty, and he can do that. Our lessons learned. He wants to make certain he doesn't have to come back to that sector and repair the goals. So 3 major arcana out of 5 is telling me Aquarius is going through major change. And to start with the zero, the number 0, the Fool, you're ready for a clean slate, and you're ready for this new phase of elevation. I hope this was helpful. I love that just the air sign showed up to say what's up. It could also be another air sign in your life, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that you might feel restricted in relationship with. Maybe they're causing you some regret. Maybe you regret aligning with another air sign. It depends how it applies for everyone so differently. Again, feel free to book with me. I would love the experience. I love what I do. And I wanted to also let you know that the theme song that you hear on these videos, I've gotten so many beautiful responses to the song I use in my intro videos and outro, that it is a song I wrote and recorded with a guitar player named Guido Bryant, and it is available to download, and the link for the song, My Golden Bough, is below. Thank you so much for tuning in, Aquarius. I'm wishing you a beautiful November, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.